Hello, hello! Welcome back to Explore Seattle and welcome back to our IGTV. And of course, for right now, welcome back to our quarantine life. Today, we are going to talk about books that I would recommend. Normally, I do read a lot, but especially in quarantine, I read a lot more and I'm rereading some of my favorite books. Okay, so for me, I prefer reading non-fictional books, especially in the business and personal and personal improvement categories. So the first one is a business book, and some people may find it boring, but I love it, and I found it at Barnes & Noble in Northgate, and that is Better Business Writing by the Harvard Business Review. This book, I would actually recommend that if you're interested in writing better in business, I would recommend that you read it every year. I certainly have been reading it every year. And look, I've got marks and stickies just so that I could revisit the content. And so far, this book has helped me convey ideas precisely and clearly. And yes, whatever the formula that the book offers, it works. So I definitely recommend this one. The next book is both a marketing book, a business book, and a self-improvement book. Surely you have heard of the book, or at least its author. It is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. You've read it, right? You've read it. I knew it. The book is incredibly inspiring. It makes you think twice about how to lead a group of people or sell your idea, and it really makes you think outside the box. And it's not just in business or marketing, but it also applies a lot of the book's concepts. They also apply to personal lives as well. I know I've applied some of his philosophy to leading my kids and motivating my kids. And yeah, it works. And I love this book. I actually got this particular copy for our 10-year-old for her birthday. So she doesn't know. And I truly believe that this is going to be one of those classic books like, Stephen Covey's book, or Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon. I forgot his last name. Well, whatever his last name is, this is the new Think and Grow Rich. Doubtfully, you haven't read it. And if you haven't, definitely go grab yourself a copy. The next two books I'm actually reading with our kids. They are both girls or young women, I should say, and one is 10 years old and the other one is 7. The first one we just finished last month, and it's called Girl Mogul, and it's by Tiffany Pham. If you haven't heard of Tiffany Pham, she is the founder and CEO of Mogul app, which is an application that connects successful business women with young women. In her book, Tiffany talks about her childhood of moving to the United States and being bullied, and then going to Yale and just thriving in Harvard Business School, and how she quit a very lucrative job to start her own company. And she did all of that under the age of 30. It's obvious that the target audience for this book is young women. But of course, her advice applies to anyone, and she is just incredibly inspiring, especially in this book. Last and certainly not least is this new book that my daughters and I just started reading last month. It is a well-researched history book by historian Deborah Hopkinson. I love history. I'm not a history buff at all. I have so much more to learn, and I love World War II. Honestly, I think that it is one of the only wars that was worth fighting for. And this book captures so much detail of that very important Day. The author has obviously done her homework. She interviewed so many different characters, and the stories were just incredible, and some of them incredibly heartbreaking too. But most of all though, all the stories of these soldiers and officers and people who and even German officers, they are just incredibly inspiring, especially for a couple of young women. And whether you have children or not, I recommend this for adults too. The target audience really are teenagers, and our 10-year-old does do pretty well with reading the book. Our 7-year-old does require some explaining. Mostly, I need to explain to her some of the more complicated words. However, she does understand the concept, and that is what's most important. And that's it for today's COVID Life at Explore Seattle IGTV. And as a recap, Better Business Writing by Harvard Business Review. Start with Why by Simon Sinek. I can't talk today. Mogul by Tiffany Pham. And DDay by Deborah Hopkinson. Thanks again, and see you next time.